Think now it's good we're recording so that in case anybody misses. So money is very powerful. It's a force that controls you or it serves you. Either it serves you or it controls you. You are the one that will determine either of the two. Some people, they get into power, they become richer, they want more money because that money intoxicates them. They have the power, it controls them, and they do and undo. You understand? Or you make it to serve you. The poor, the middle class, typically fall into the trap of working for money, trading their time for wages, and accumulating debt through consumerism. And this kept them stuck in financial dependency. In Nigeria, generally, we are financially dependent on America, so many countries that we import from, we collect loan from, or all those things we collect from them. And because Nigeria don't produce anything, we just consume. The same way, people who are in this class or category, the poor middle class, they are consuming more. And when you consume more, you trade your time with you trade your time for wages. You want to make money, you put in your time, you put in the effort, and you keep accumulating. So this is what this guy was saying. And they continue also saying that the rich, by contrast, focuses on acquiring and building income-generating assets. See the difference between the rich and the poor. The poor, they focus more on working hard, trading their time with money. You understand? They trade their time, they put in their time, they put in the effort, they make the money. However, the poor, the rich put their own in income-generating assets. Income-generating assets. So income-generating assets, those are the assets that has the capability to bring in extra income for them. Income-generating assets. It brings in more income for them. They understand the difference between assets and liability, and they use financial education as their compass for making smart decisions. So you remember when I started talking about financial education, why some people go to Lagos Business School, something business school, Harvard Business School, whatever business school. They are not just going there because they want to learn how to do trading. Like you and I will do trading on the streets. That's not what they are going there to do because they call it business school. They go there to understand money management. Because you see, one thing is for you to make so much amount of money, another thing to manage how much you make. I was on a call with a friend earlier today, and I was like, oh, I make so much money, I work so much hard, and I feel so stressed because like the more I work, the more I make the money, the money doesn't feel like I'm making anything. So these are the strategy people who are big boss, wealthy people, people who manage big corporations. That's what they do. They go there to understand the concept, the strategy, the management of vast big projects. You understand? So they also argue, the two of them, that the rich use leverage. You see, they use people. Now, note these things we are seeing on your screen. Leverage, people, system, and money to scale wealth. That means even as a poor man or as a middle class person, we all make money. You see, if you look at what is on the screen, the leverage on what people, system, and what money. Everybody make money. Everybody has people. You and I, you have people around you. So why is it that the poor and the middle class are not getting richer when you have people around you? When you too, you are making money. At least no one knows you're making money. This year you are making certain amount of money, no matter how little. You've made money. So not that the rich are making money so wealthy or in billions. They started from somewhere, but there's something they added to the money and the people they have. It's called systems. Systems. You and I, we make money. Some of us have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 million. Some have made 10 million this year. Some have made more than that this year. So not that you're not making money. Even not that all the rich men are making money every second. They make their money maybe once in a while, but maybe in a big way. However, what they did was to bring money and people together inside one thing called system. And that's what a lot of us have not done. Poor people, middle class people, that's what we have not done. What will make the difference between the middle class person, a poor person, and a rich person is to do the same thing the rich person. And what people go to Lagos Business School, Harvard Business School, whatever business school they go to do is to learn systems, to learn how things work, to understand that it is garbage in and garbage out. If you don't put something in the system, it will not work. And you know why Africa is so deluded is because systems don't work in Africa. Not because it cannot work, it's because the people just literally don't make it work. We are so corrupt. It's like you start the business, you leave the business behind for some sales girls or sales boys, and you travel abroad. Before you come back, they would have destroyed your business for you. You understand? But if you notice something nowadays, I want to be very, very practical so that you understand what I'm saying. If you notice something nowadays, in those days, there are bookers. And from those bookers, we start having canteens. Then after those canteens, all those eateries started coming out. Most of these eateries, they are big now, all over the place. But after the eateries, the old fashion of bookers are now coming out nowadays. The old fashion of bookers. If you go around the city of Lagos or anywhere, you see them coming out now. But what they've done now is that they are bringing back the old booker with the structure of the systems. Because what the eateries have done differently from the canteens is that the eateries have system. If you look go to those eateries, why they are still there, those eateries are there because they have systems that make it work. But if you just have canteen, you have to be sitting down there every day so that the people working with you don't steal your food, don't steal everything. If you go to those canteens in those days, you see the woman in front of Yalamala, why they're making them like somebody sitting down there collecting the money. You understand? Now, the eateries, what they've done is they brought system into the same food business. So the system helped them to be able to manage things. So they now have 1 branch, 2 branches, 3 branches, 4 branches. So you can have one eatery with so many branches everywhere. It's only a system that makes you have multiple branches. If you don't have a good system, you find out that you have eatery in your area and you cannot afford to leave the place, go and open another eatery because you don't even know the staff. They might be stealing your food, they might be carrying bag of rice away, and you think you will not make profit, they will run the place down. So the system they brought now bring about the use of money and people for them to generate wealth for them. So you see, if you know the owner of KFC, you know they are rich people. The owner of Tantalizer, they are rich people. Tantalizer is not different from normal canteen. The only thing they did is that they brought system whereby they don't have to sit down there. So what system does for rich people is that as a poor man, you are the one who will work till you die. So, but a rich man puts the people and the money together inside a system, and that system, as long as the system is still working, so the rich man will spend any amount to make sure the system works. Dangote brought in Indians, Chinese to run the refinery for him because he knows that if you put Nigerians there, they will cover the place. People system. He doesn't mind to be spending money for Japanese to be reservicing the system. He doesn't mind because it is the system that keeps those two things in place: the people and the money. You and I, we have people now. You have your brother, you have your cousin, you have. If as you are listening to me tonight, if you sit down and start thinking in your brain, do I have people? You can list that. If I give you Bible and paper to write down how many people do you know in person, you write more than 100. So you know people. So it's not that rich people know people more than you. It's not that rich people have money more than you. Rich people also started small with the small money that you are making now. But what they did was at some point they brought in a system that transformed that money into multiple money for them. But you make the money, you eat it, you have to go and make another one. And then you are trading your time for your money. When you are 35, you are still working hard and making the money. You are 45, you are still trading hard, working hard to make the money. You are 55, you are still working hard to make the money. When will you sit down and enjoy and let other people work for you? And if you want to let them work for you, see that one man was in UK. I heard the story. He has lived in UK for many years, now came back to go and retire at the age of 58 or 60 years. He set up what's it called? Fish farming. In that fish farming, he was taking care of all these people, all the staff that are working. I think he has close to 15 staff, and he has big fish farming, everywhere, very big, and he used to sell. The business was just about 2 years. The guy man was having fun, enjoying. Suddenly, as devil want to enter those workers, one of the workers that is very, very prominent was I think she has gone for holiday, came back. They has gone out again for some time. She wasn't at work. Our guy was still paying salary. Then this time she asked for money for holiday, and the man doesn't want to give him. So the girl got upset and go and carry Gamale 20, go and pour inside the water of the fish. That's how 5,000 fish died. Another 5,000 died. The man was like, what? Now, what is he going to do to this girl? Arrest the girl, kill the girl. The girl don't disappear from work. And when all the fish die, what other people will do? The other staff start picking the fish. Some of them that can pick the ones that have not fully died and all of that. So they messed up this man. The man packed his property, went back to the UK, never came back again. So that is people for you. That is what people. And as long as you and I, we cannot trust people to hand over our business into their hands, we'll be the one doing the work till we die. And there's no way you will be the one doing the work that you break even or become rich. So you want to scale and change that level of your life, you need to bring system on board. I think enough of that. Maybe sometimes again in the future we'll talk more about this. But I think you understand what I'm talking about tonight. Another key lesson is about mindset. Fear is losing money. Fear of losing money prevents many from taking advantage of opportunity. So when they tell you come and join a network or come and join a community, come and do this thing, some people are just why will I put my money there? Because you are scared of losing money. So the wealthy understand that the risks and failure are part of growth, and that money should be treated. The money should be treated as a tool, an energy that multiplies when managed well. So another thing is, we believe, or most of us think, that money is not just paper, but something to do transaction, just to buy. So every time you acquire money, you feel you have capacity to buy things. But every time wealthy people make money, they see that money as tools for multiplication, not to buy, but to multiply their own wealth. That is this you have to know. So when you make money, you feel like, oh, I just want to buy things. I just want to buy if I have the tools to buy and buy. But the wealthy people understand that you have to take risks at some point. And failures are part of the growth of life. If you don't take risks, if you don't put money where you want to, it's like calling. Okay, I remember when we had to pay extra for these Indian people to develop our website. We have used about 4 different Nigerians. In fact, over 4 million naira is still hanging in the hands of some Nigerians that we give our website to develop for us. In fact, there's one of them in Abuja there. Grown-up man, grown-up, well-established company. Up till now, he didn't finish that thing. He had to engage foreigners. I didn't even care how much we're going to pay. Pay them so that they can fix our website. So sometimes you might need to pay, take the risk, and be in an environment that will empower you, that will change your life and make you have understanding of how things work much more than because, oh, now I have this money, I want to buy a TV. The next thing, I want to buy my chairs in the living room. I want to buy another shoe. I want to buy this. And that is why most of us perpetually remain at the level where we are. So these guys are writing in this book to basically open us our mind to those secrets. The chapter central message: learn how to control money through financial education, assets, and leverage, which is money, or else money will control you. If you don't control money, money will control you. So you have to know how to leverage it. You have to know how to, keep this as assets. So what are the main teachings? Let's go into the 7 main teachings in this chapter, and then we call it a day for today. The money is the powerful force. Who controls who? That's the first lesson to know here. Who controls who? Money can control you, or you can control money. So you are the one that will determine what controls you. Money can either control you, or you can control money. You have to determine who controls who. So it's left for you. You can let money control you. People are very, very like money conscious. Everything about them is money, 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 money. And you don't see the difference in their lives. They are not really producing any value, but they're just very overconscious about money. So you see people like this around every time. Money, most people work for money, but the rich makes money work for them. And that's the position of what I was explaining earlier. Most people work for money, but the rich will make their money work for them. And that's why I said last week that from next week or thereabout, once we're done with this book, I'll be teaching us multiple streams of income, how you can make your money work for you. These are things you will go and learn in Lagos Business School, Abuja Business School, whatever business school, how you can make, what rich people do to make their money work for them. These are the things we're going to be teaching from that teaching. So here, these 2 guys were opening our eyes to let us know that you might not really notice that you are either controlling money or money is controlling, but somebody is controlling somebody. If you don't learn how money works, it will control your life through debt, stress, and dependency. You'll be so much dependent on every time you are working so hard to get money for 1 or 2 things. Once you don't have it, you become stressed. So most people work for money all their life. And when you say working for money means you have to work again to make the next money. You have to work again to make the next money. If you don't work, you don't get the money. So the rich makes money work for them, but most people work for money. The rich make money work for them every time. So they engage in things that make the money keeps coming back. So you must learn those rules, the rules of money, or become a victim of them. Either you learn the rules or you become a victim of them. So why these guys want you to be rich is you have to learn that money has the capacity to control you. It has the capacity to control people, and it can control you. And when we say controlling you, you might wonder, I don't let money control me now. I don't let money control me. There's not that kind of control. When you work hard and you can't stay off working at certain level of your life, it means that your money is the one controlling you. The second one is called the rat race. We must have heard the rat race before. Most of us have heard that word, rat race. Must have heard people saying rat race. Rat race is when people are in cycle for many years. Your dad, your great-granddad, and you yourself, you are in that circle. The poor and middle class work for money. It's like a rat race. Most of the time, people work either for paycheck. Let me put it that way. Let me not specifically say either private organization or government organization. As long as you work for paycheck. In those days, during the time of Oshoni Bank, there are bankers that were earning 1 million naira monthly salary. A decade after that time, when Oshoni Bank has phased out and some new banks are coming up and other good banks are getting stronger, they were paying as much as 2 million to some bank managers. They were really making a lot of money. But let me be frank with you, most of those bank managers in those days, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, majority of them are not even in Nigeria again, except the ones that have grown in the ladder of the company, they have grown in the corporate ladder of that same bank or that same organization. Majority of them have jackpot because they found out that the money they are paying them is not equivalent to the reality of inflation in Nigeria. When you exchange your time for money, then you are trapped in what is called the rat race. It's not just when you earn salary, even when you have a shop or a business owner, and then you have to run to work to go and open your shop every time. And I've used this as an example many times. Somebody who is a barber or hairdresser. If you're a barber or hairdresser, you have to open your shop almost every time. If you have to open the shop every time, if you have to be there every time, you are trading your time for money. And that's what is called rat race. Rat race means you have to keep running. You have to just keep running to make sure you meet up. Customer order today, deliver it, collect your money, come back home, sleep, wake up, next day, jump. Now rat race, And some people that got butter their bread, they're able to build one house in the village or within the city, not too far away. Apart from that, it ends there. And then the children take the baton, they continue again. It has always been for low class, middle class, low income people. So the biggest fear is job loss. So when you even have a job, it becomes a challenge that you don't want to lose your job. keep them dependent mostly on the employer. And people who are like collecting paycheck, they keep looking up onto God. They auto and finish off their faith, which is their employer. The poor middle class, they work, they earn, they spend, they borrow, they repeat it. That's what is called rat race. You work, you collect the salary, you spend it. Maybe it's not enough before the month end, you borrow a little more. By the time the month end, you collect again because you have been working. You collect it again, you spend it again, you borrow a little more, you pay your debt when you collect for the next month, and it becomes a loop. It repeats itself. So you are scared of losing the job, you get trapped in there. Or you are scared of losing the business you have, you get trapped in there. There are people who have lost their business, there are people who have opened shop, the government came to destroy the shop, it looks like the whole world will crash. There are people who have put money in investment, the money crash, it looks like the whole world will crash. And that's why you have to be in that class. When I start that class in the next 2 weeks, multiple streams of income, you don't want to miss it. Because you don't want to be trapped. You don't want something to happen to you and then you can't meet up your financial obligations. You sort of get what I'm saying tonight. So the key idea here is that time for money exchange limits your growth. That's what people like Dangote don't understand. Time for money exchange limits your growth. So if everything, all the money you are making so far today is connected to your time, that if you are not there, if you don't do what you are doing now, oh, I don't know if I'm talking to somebody tonight. I'm repeating it. This message is not for everybody. It's not ordinary teaching. This is a prophecy. If you have to be there, if you have to work, if you have to do something before the next money comes in, then you have to start rethinking about your life. In 2 weeks' time, I will start teaching multiple streams of income. Don't miss that class. You have to create other multiple streams of income. Number 3, in this chapter 2, why we make you rich, why we want you rich. Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump talk about assets versus liability. So the rich acquire assets, the rich focus on acquiring assets that generate ongoing cash flow, which is assets, the things that put money in your pocket, business, investment, real estate. In the last 5 years, I was asking some people, I don't know, maybe last year or so, on this platform, and I was saying, anybody, yeah, it was last year, November. I was asking how many of us bought a land last year that you're able to just squeeze your pocket, no matter how much you are making. It is either a bush or a farm, somewhere, just a land. You squeeze money out of your pocket and you paid and you bought a land. Only 20 or 30% of the people that I was talking to that day. So now, how do you want your situation to change if you don't put money in things that will make you multimillionaire? I shared the story of how we acquired that 20 acres in Epe. The amount we were selling that land as at the time we acquired that land was just less than 100,000 naira. And yet, the money was not there. We squeezed pocket to put the money in. 20 acres. Imagine how much that's almost 120 plus in the center of Epe today. Just go and calculate how much they're selling per plot. So, there are things rich people will, if they are hungry like this, they will put money inside it. Rather than us, when we are hungry, we buy popcorn and mede. And after we don't chop the food, we now go and be buying more television, another iPhone, another laptop, another gadget, another shoe, another clothes. I was in a sister's house in Egbenda many years ago. Yeah, I think about 14 years ago now. We just started Star Monetary that time. And he's a friend of one of our directors. We went there for a meeting. And I went into her house. She was a caller. What do they call them? Those people that answer calls. If you call a bank or you call a company, receptionist here. She was a receptionist or phone receptionist or so. And in our room, in our house, when you enter like this, by the left, you see shoes. If I could count close to 250 shoes that night, I was shocked. Her salary was almost like minimum wage that time. I'm not sure she was earning 18,000 naira, but that time minimum wage was 18,000. How much was it? I was shocked. If you see shoes, different colors. Liability, things that take money away from us, cars, expensive homes, consumer debts, shoes, clothes, Owambe, you all know it. So assets are things that are like business, investment, real estate. These are the things that bring money to your pocket, while liability are debt, cars, consumers, and things that take away money from you. So the rich buy assets, make them more wealthy, and then the poor buy liability that keeps them perpetually in debt. Number 4, the trap of consumerism. Advertising, social pressure, they're pushing people to spend more than they earn. You scroll your phone, they advertise this you like that product you want to buy. You scroll your phone, TikTok, you see this thing you want to buy. You see that thing you want to buy. Social pressure. My mama say, my papa say, my brother say, my uncle say, waiting people will talk for the neighborhood. Say my children no buy these clothes. Oh, then they buy one, but me no buy. Social pressure, cultural pressure. And then they go push you. They push you. You carry money, we know enough. Go buy waiting. Then somebody was saying, I think Pastor Olumide was saying something there many years ago. He said the 2-bedroom or two-story buildings some people could have built in their life is inside their stomach. If you see their stomach the way it's big, you will see most truck drivers, taxi drivers. You see they have those are big stomach, because when they finish working, they go to book a canteen. You say they go and eat. You say they go and eat obi. They eat in the night. With Gouda and everything. Their stomach is so big like this. You see a lot of men who in this category, right? Because they feel it's better to take care of their body. There's nothing bad taking care of your body. But don't forget that when you grow older, you also need energy to make money. or you let money make money for you. So the poor and middle class people buy liability thinking that they're assets. So advertising, peer pressure, drive overspending. Most of the time you watch TV, you watch TikTok, you see the advertising, you remember, me too, I want to buy that, let me test it. You buy. The whole month has gone, your salary is gone, the money you have made from your business is low, and then you can't put money in real investment anymore. These are all illusion. It looks like stuff. They are all illusion. But the reality is that those things keeps you poor. It keeps you in one place. Number 5, the power of financial education. Financial education is actually the great equalizer. And that's what we're doing here tonight. You're learning, despite the fact that you know your right from the left, but sometimes you need somebody to keep reminding you that your right hand is your right hand, your left hand is your left hand. And what you're not supposed to eat is poison. Don't eat it. Without financial literacy, people misuse money. Financial literacy is what tells you or helps you to guide you how you can manage your money. Not because somebody wants to collect money from you, but because they love you. And that's why you have this kind of a book, Why We Want You Rich. Somebody's telling you that you need to acquire financial literacy, financial education. No matter your income, if you lack financial education. I watched a documentary just yesterday. Not even a documentary, you guys can Google it. Go on your line and Google. I think the state is Mississippi or something in America. There's a state in America that feel like there are a lot of homeless people. Those homeless people are so many. So the state felt like we don't want homeless people in our state. Just like let's say Lagos, for example. So they budgeted close to $500 billion to empower those homeless people. So most of them, they gave them about 100,000 each. And you won't believe it. After 1.5 years, more than 60% of these homeless people are back on the street homeless. So the problem is not the money. The problem is the education. There are Okada riders who are building houses, and there are bank managers or branch manager or branch head of a bank who has never bought a block all his life. It's expensive rental they are doing. So it is the education that makes the difference. If somebody can say tonight, with financial education, even modest earners can build wealth. So what you are making now, your salary today, or whatever you are making from your wusi or your little trading, even you are selling okrika, you are selling Ankara, 10,000, 20,000. From the little you are making from there, if you're a smart person and you understand what is financial education, you can build wealth. You can grow your destiny with it. Literally, it's a function of knowledge. I am a product of it. I didn't grow up in a wealthy place. I didn't grow up in a wealthy family. I grew everything because I'm always passionate about knowledge, learning. I could go to a place and go to someone, just go and ask questions, just to learn, just to know. And these things, they've added quality into my life. So high income is not financial freedom. No matter, you can be any 2 million, 3 million salary every month. You can be doing business and be making. I know people, if I hear, I was talking to a lady a week ago, it's telling me how much millions she makes every month. Every month. And yet these people are no different. Education teaches you how to multiply the money. So you can make the money, even though it's small money. What the education will do is help you to multiply it. So imagine if you're not making a lot of money, then you can multiply that a lot of money into billions. So investor making wealth with 10K versus doctor losing money on 200K is salary, is possible. Somebody can be making 10K from whatever business they are doing, but they are smart, they are doing a job, they are doing this, they are doing that, they are doing different things based on the education, what they've learned. And then they start, multiplying the money. But you could be a doctor, let me say even as low as 200,000 salary. You can't do anything with it because you feel like it's not enough. So, second to the last one tonight is what is called leverage. Leverage is power. You remember last week Tuesday we talked about leverage from chapter 1. We mentioned leverage a little bit. Now you need to understand what leverage is. Leverage and power are very, very similar. You understand what is power? I think I mentioned it earlier. Leverage is when you put that money and people. Remember from the beginning when we said money and people, you put them inside a system. Yes. Leverage is putting those two inside a system. That is what is called leverage. When you put your hand inside electricity, it can shock you. So leverage is putting money and power together. Putting money and people together inside power. So the rich use leverage, other people's time, OPT, or other people's money, or OPM. In fact, OPM is more popular out there. You hear a lot of people talking about OPM. If you have not heard about OPM before, then you need to listen. You open your ears. Now, I've known about OPM for almost like 30 years ago. OPM means other people's money. OPM is other people's money. OPM is other people's money. So it's important. Okay. It's important that you know that rich people use other people's money to make money. It's not their money, but it becomes their money eventually. Rich people use other people's money to make more money. That is the way it has always been. You remember when they say using people and money into a system. You channel people and money into a system. So people is other people's time. Their time. You use their time and use their money. Put the two inside the system for yourself. You become very rich. The poor rely on their own time and energy. The poor, they rely on their own time and energy every time, most of the time. So that's why they remain the way they are. They just like struggle and struggle and struggle every time. OTP, other people's time and other people's energy, other people's money, other people's time, other people's money. Now look at the system. It's equals to ready-made structure that multiplies the effort. Ready-made structure ready-made structure that multiplies the effort. So that is what makes people rich. So you want to be in that category, then you have to start understanding that either you like it or not, you have to use other people's power. Other people's power is time and money. And lastly, fear versus courage. Fear versus courage. Fear versus courage. That is where you now determine if you want to do it or not. When you are ready for it. Fear versus courage. In money decision, you have to decide. Fear of losing money paralyzes many people from taking the risk. You are scared of taking the risk. You're just scared. The rich embrace the risk. Calculate the risk and learn from their mistakes. But the poor, they always say, what about if I lose this money? What about if I lose the money? That's what the poor always say. Oh, I don't want to lose my money. Oh, I lost so amount of money. So. So therefore, I don't want to lose my money. So you keep the money where? Where do you keep the money? Where do you keep the money? You will still spend it because you use to buy one thing. The rich people, what if I learn? So fear keeps people small. Courage builds wealth for somebody. And the last one, money as energy. Money is energy. It drives that energy. Imagine how people feel when they make money. It means you misuse it and it disappears quickly. So money flows towards where it's being respected and wisely invested. If it's not respected, if not widely invested, it will run out so fast. It's an energy. People see why people make money, they are so excited. They're always excited when they make money. They just like, oh, I don't hammer. But when they don't invest it, so when they lose it, it's gone. So either you like it or not, you need to master it. Money flows towards where respect is. So when you have make money, you don't lose it. Because once you lose, it's going to be very hard for you to get another one. But when it's respected, it's acknowledged, and it's wisely invested, it will also multiply. So treat it carelessly. Yeah, when you treat it carelessly, it disappears. But when you treat it like energy, it multiplies. Conclusion tonight is money is a servant or a master. Money is a servant or a master. You have to determine which one is it. If it's a servant for you, then you use it to multiply your wealth. If it's a master for you, then it becomes a master for the rest of your life until you come to realization, until you come to your senses, like the prodigal son realized one day that if he goes back to his father's house, it's better than eating with the pigs. You understand? So build assets, use leverage to win in life, and adopt a courageous mindset. Build assets, use leverage, and adopt a courageous mindset. Final quote tonight: either you master money or money masters you. You have to choose one of the two. Either you master money or money understands you. And once money understands you, it's very dangerous because money will treat you the way you don't like. It's like life, you know. And people say life is unfair to some people. Why would some people be so rich and some people are not rich? So it's because some people took advantage of opportunities that came around them. A lot of rich people, children today, that their father are rich, so the children became rich. But those people, their own grandfather were not rich. Their own father, the father of those people are not rich. They build wealth over time. They had opportunities that came their way and they took advantage of it. You know? And don't forget, not all the opportunities are positive. Some of them are bad opportunities. They use them, they defraud people, they make the money. So people like that, for me, is a no-no. But there are people that intelligently, virtuously build wealth in a right direction over the years, and those their wealth is a yes for me. Thank you, and God bless you. So next week we'll finish this book. For those who are not yet in our WhatsApp group, try and join the WhatsApp group. That's it right here on the screen. And then if you have one or two questions, you can ask before we round it off for tonight. And then we'll quickly talk about, I think we have a little time to talk about the community before we close tonight. So let me stop this presentation. So if you have one or two questions, I'm going to post the link to our WhatsApp group. For those of us who are here for the first time and you want to be part of the community, I'm going to talk a little bit in the next 15 minutes about the community. I think we're going to finish early tonight. It's just a few minutes before 9 p.m. And then we can all call it a night. So let me post to our chat. If you check your chat, you will see the link. So for those who are new, you can join. And if you want to invite your friends, you want them to join, you can also invite your friends to join. If you are in our community, it's very easy for you to always get updated information about all the things we are doing. All right, once again, say thank you, Madam Anne. Madam Theophilus, Madam Teresa.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, how are you doing? Madam Teresa, reach out to me. We have unfinished business. Oga Benibe, Dorcas, Techno BF7. I know maybe that is Adesun, but only God knows because she likes to hide. Precious one, God bless you, Dr. Susan. Madam Alokwesi, God bless you.
Good evening, sir.
Please tell me, Madam Teresa, let's talk. We have an unfinished business.
Okay, sir.
Right, God bless you. Pastor Dennis, Mr. Andrew, Franklin, God bless you. Yeah. Madam, is it Albright? Is it OG? God bless you. Mother Alex, patience. Let me talk my Johnson.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, madam. How are you? Oh,
I'm
Larry,
sir.
who else is here? I've not mentioned your name, Dorcas. Oh, that's not out. Okay. Oh, I think we say thank you all for being here. So